There's the splash shot up onto the putting surface, rolling out towards the hole, and in the bottom! Oh, baby! He throws the sandwich! It's a chest bump with Michael Greller! I can't believe what I just saw! Oh, baby! He holds out for birdie, and they're on their feet at the Travelers.
Well, that's a great way to end a Sunday and to start a Monday with Jordan Spieth winning in a playoff at the Travelers Championship. We welcome you to this June 26th edition of Morning Drive. Todd Lewis proudly sitting beside folks who've walked the world's greatest tour in Paige McKenzie and Robert Dameron. And I mean, that's just electric. I don't know what you could say about that.
Could you get to sleep last night? I was so hyped up on adrenaline. It was one of those, it happened, and I'm yelling at my husband. I'm like, I knew he was going to make that. I knew he was going to make that.
I didn't know he was going to make it, but then when he did make it, I wasn't surprised either.
Man.
Well, let's see what Daniel Berger had to say about this. Daniel Berger was in the playoff with Jordan Spieth when Spieth holed out from the bunker, and he said, hopefully the next time Jordan Spieth does this, I'm on his team and I can chest bump him as well, which is interesting because Daniel Berger, with that finish yesterday, all but sewed up a spot on the President's Cup team, which Jordan Spieth will be a part of as well. We're going to continue to talk about all the excitement that happened there. And that wasn't the only bit of excitement happening around the golf world. With more on that, we say good morning to our friend Laura Thompson. Good morning, LT.
Good morning, Todd. Glad to have you in Studio AP as well. Let's get everybody updated. Kicking things off with So-Yeon Yu, whose win at the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship not only makes her the first multiple winner of the season on the LPGA Tour, it also has the 26-year-old South Korean poised to take over the #1 spot in the Rolex rankings, which will be officially tabulated later today. But now moving on to Fred Couples, who rallied out on top of the American Family Insurance Championship for his second title of the year on the PGA Tour Champions. The World Golf Hall of Fame member, who was playing the final round alongside tournament host Steve Stricker, closed with a 666 for a victory, 2 shots over Scott Verplank. Then it was Jordan Spieth on Sunday at the Travelers Championship. We just talked about this, holding out from that bunker, taking down Daniel Berger on the first playoff hole, and with it, the 23-year-old two-time major champion captured his 10th career PGA Tour title. So Todd Lewis, let's take a look back at how it all went down.
Let's go to Connecticut, Lauren, and Daniel Berger. He made a great run on Sunday, putting for birdie on the par 4 17th. He makes that to get to 12 under, shoots a 67. Spieth shoots a final round 70, and then the electricity begins. They go to a playoff. Berger's tee shot on the first playoff hole, Paige, the par 4 18.
And he struggled in the regulation. He hit it right in regulation. Now stepping up and over-correcting. You can see it missing that tree, but left into the thick stuff.
So with him in a bit of trouble, that opens the door for Jordan Spieth and his tee shot.
Well, I guess Jordan saw Daniels go through the tree, so he thought I can do the same right through the middle of the tree. That little gap hit, nope. His hits the tree, gets an incredibly lucky break to end out in the middle of the fairway. But
he's a long way away, 227 yards from the hole. Now here's Spieth's second.
And it's further away, but a bit of deja vu, finding himself in the exact same greenside bunker as he was on the 18th in regulation.
Now Berger just misses the green to the left. Now here's Spieth's third from the bunker.
I guess Michael Greller raked it really well the first time around because he had a really nice slide. Look at this.
The celebration is incredible.
Yeah, I heard it. Daniel said chest bump. That's more of a turnaround, kind of back to chest.
And by the way, Justin Thomas had this to say on Twitter prior to that shot. He said he wouldn't be surprised if Spieth hold this bunker shot. A little Karnak there for JT.
It felt like it was coming. Based on the fact he had the exact same bunker shot in regulation, he had at least a better chance of knowing the read.
Yeah, indeed. and Daniel Berger, by the way, showed great sportsmanship in congratulating him with that awesome shot prior to him hitting his third. And look at this. With his 10th victory, Jordan Spieth joins Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus, and sandwiched in between them as the youngest to win 10 times on the PGA Tour in the modern era. Spieth at the age of 23, 10 months and 29 days. Spieth, after the victory, after this incredible electric moment, talks about reaching 10 wins on the PGA Tour.
It's amazing. Each one has been very special in their own right. This one being kind of a landmark 10th victory, and the way that it happened, boy, I got really lucky. I mean, there was somebody upstairs looking over me in that playoff hole. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, I mean, we'll move on from here. This is a big catapult for the second half of the year. We got 2 majors in the playoffs left, and some other events in between. So very excited about what 2017 still has in store.
You know, it was a bit of an emotional roller coaster watching Jordan Spieth, who had the lead heading into Sunday. I mean, he was kind of mediocre at best at his final round, at even par 70 for him. But for him to gain his composure and win the way he did says a lot about this young man.
It does. And it was an emotional roller coaster. He started out with a couple birdies to start, and then everything kind of went sideways in the middle of the round, and we really started to see it affect him. He's a very emotive player. He always expresses his emotions and his reactions, but we really started to see it yesterday when you saw the frustration in some of these missed shots and his disappointment, and that's where I started to say, I think he's losing it. I think he's losing it, and I think he's losing the tournament, the way that he's reacting. It was a loss of really the present moment. And then something happened on the 15th hole, and I think this turned it around for him. It was that surprise make. It was this putt right here where I thought this might chip away at the ice that's around him right now. And you could see the smile, you could see the reaction. And I was like, there might be a turning point here where he gets back into rhythm. We started to see that coming down the stretch, Robert. Did you see the same kind of emotion where he lost it?
No, I absolutely saw him lose it. And he gave Michael Greller the credit after the round, and I do too. Michael had to do a lot more than just rake bunkers and carry the bag and get yardages yesterday. He had to keep his man in the present and from completely losing it, because I felt like Jordan was trying to throw the tournament away, and so did he. I mean, yeah. He even said it. I was losing it. I was going mental out there, and Michael did as good a job as I could have dreamt of. Best job he's ever done to keep me in the present, and he gave him a lot of credit for the win.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little later in Morning Drive and how important Michael Greller was to Jordan Spieth and has been in his career, because Jordan, as you talked about, takes his emotions right to the edge. Yeah. And sometimes he gets criticized for that. And Jordan has told me, hey, those same people who criticize me about having these high-strung emotions must understand if I didn't have these emotions, I wouldn't be in the position that I am. So it's a blessing and a curse in some ways.
It is, and thankfully for him, he was able to get it back on track. But Robert, you also noticed that not only were the emotions very evident, it was this symptom of the emotions that really kind of bothered you on Sunday.
Yeah, it was. After we're used to seeing Jordan Spieth make putts from everywhere, and let's face it, he really putted lousy yesterday. He hit some terrible putts, and the thing that bugged me and struck me, after missing short putts, he would go around, mark it, and after watching a putt roll past the hole, read the putt, get his book out, look over it, take well over a minute, almost 2 minutes to hit the next putt. And what's going on when that's happening is you're not reinforcing positive thoughts. You're trying to shake out all those bad thoughts, and he knows what this putt does. There's no question about it. Michael's coming in to talk to him. There's two things. One, over-grinding. It's a bad thing. Jordan knows how to putt. He knows what that putt does. He's going to be far better off trusting his instincts, his feel, going up and hitting it. Two, I can't stand slow play. It just bugs me to death. And Boo Weekley sitting there waiting on his fourth three-footer to go, and I know he notices that. And, you know, I think that Jordan should keep an eye on that, because just be natural, use your own talent, and also the tour should be cognizant of it, because he went well over his 42nd a lot of time.
Yep.
Well, I'm interested to see what you two have in regards to what people can learn from watching Jordan Spieth and maybe carry on to the golf course.
Yeah, we'll take a closer look at a situation that both Robert and I saw on the 13th hole. Very difficult hole for Jordan Spieth. He struggled to find the fairway a lot of times off that tee shot. So he was faced now on the second shot, on a very difficult shot, and you started to see kind of how what exactly he was facing, Robert.
Well, the problem that he had is there's a left water hazard on the left short that you can't see from where he's looking now. So with that severe downhill lie below his feet, you know what can happen when that happens.
Exactly. Trouble come into play. So we're able to listen in on exactly how they weighed the decision on what to do. So go and take a listen.
I just don't see the point in taking that risk. I don't see the risk.
You feel good with it? I feel good with it.
I feel good with it.
All right.
Said, I don't see the risk.
I saw it.
I saw it.
I knew what was there. I've done it. And the thing that can happen is when it's that steep, the ball's that far below your feet, trouble's on the left, the club can actually come in and hit the ground first with the hosel, turn the club face over, ball shoots way left, and left is bad. And that's what Michael was trying to tell him not to do, talk him out of. You know, Jordan had his mind made up, though. He went ahead and did it. But if you're faced with that at home, here's what you don't want to do. Start aiming a little more right to try to guard against it, because that's just going to guarantee that that part hits in the ground, turns the ball left. What you want to do actually is take 2 more clubs, open it up, and aim left. That way, instead of a side hill, you're turning it more into just a straight uphill lie. So you aim it left, open the club face so the ball should start out right, but you're swinging more on the upslope. Hossel's not going to catch the ground. It's not going to miss left, hopefully.
And thankfully for both Jordan and Michael, Jordan's decision paid off, and he was able to execute that shot, get himself in good position.
Sure.
So for more on the world of golf and what is going on around the world of golf, let's send it over to Lauren.
Thanks, Paige and Robert. Well, that was last weekend for Jordan Spieth, but happening this week, the 63rd edition of the KPMG Women's PGA Championship, the second major of the year on the LPGA Tour season. Setting the stage, the storied Olympia Fields Country Club south of Chicago. That's where this morning you're going to find 2 of our own, Chantel McCabe and LPGA Tour winner Nicole Castrali. Good morning, you two. How are you?
Good morning. She's a trooper. She is wearing a skirt. She looks as comfortable as possible, and I am being a wimp, and I'm freezing.
Maybe it's because you're working off 1 hour's sleep.
Well, that's all right. I'm happy to be here. I'm working off some coffee running through the veins. An LPGA Tour winner, you know, a lot of people in the field this week, the second major of the season, and you got to check out the course a little bit and walk around the venue here at Olympia Fields about a month ago for Media Day. What were your initial observations?
One word, major championship. You come on to this golf course, all the grandstands are up, even from Media Day a month ago. Players are going to get here and they are going to be very impressed. Willie Park Jr., when he designed this golf course back in 1922, he had one job to make it a major championship, and he did. As you can see there, the golf course is very much right in front of you, tree-lined, old school, very defined. The greens are subtle, they break a lot. This is just a great golf course with a great history of major champions.
Let's dive a little bit deeper into the course. You got to walk the course when you were here back in May. Which hole stands out? Which hole is the most unique, would you say?
As I mentioned, Willie Park Jr., he loved elevation changes on this golf course. So the 12th hole in particular, off the tee, it's the only blind shot you will find on this golf course. Your tee shot will drop about 40 feet, and then there'll be a rise 25 feet back up to the green. So players are going to have to really trust their distances. It's going to play about 2 clubs from the middle of fairway different, but this is just all around a very good golf course.
Well, we mentioned the weather to start. Obviously, it's a little bit colder than we expected here outside of Chicago. Will the weather play a factor this week?
They are expecting rain coming in mid to the end of this week. This is already a very long golf course, 6,600 yards. So it is definitely going to favor a long ball hitter. You're going to have to carry it all the way up to the pin. But another challenge is you don't want to be past the pin because of the severity of the greens. So the greens are going to be very difficult and quick.
Well, Brooke Henderson, defending champion here. She won on the LPGA Tour just a couple weeks ago. How does this course set up for her game?
Again, she is sneaky long. Last year when she won at Sahalee, she was the second longest driving distance. She was here a month ago. She played the golf course, got an early practice round in, and when I walked with her a few holes, initially she said, I really do love this golf course. So I would really keep an eye on her, especially coming off a win 2 weeks ago.
Oh, it's going to be a fun week. I'm looking forward to it. And we're here on Morning Drive all week long, live from Olympia Fields. Looking forward to a fun week, the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. LT, back to you.
Looking forward to more from you throughout the week. Well, coming up this Monday morning, though, we're going to catch up with Phil Mickelson. He's on site at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship with the title sponsor and CEO, Phil. He's ready to talk about the importance of that event, but also his recent news of parting ways with longtime caddy, and also quite the announcement as Todd Lewis is going to welcome Lefty to Morning Drive today. You want to stick around for that. Then we're going to get to someone who looked oh so right from the sand with a sensational shot. That even surprised him by going in. Jordan Spieth, he knew he'd get it close. He even said he felt more comfortable there than from 4 feet, which has our pros ready to unleash the top ways for you to beat the bunker blues once and for all. Plus, a meeting with you and a mental game guru, Dr. Gio Valiente. There's something we could all take away from Fred Couples fighting his way to a weekend victory in Wisconsin and So-Yeon Yu's record-setting performance in Rogers, Arkansas. So it's all on deck today as Morning Drive gets your weekend going strong, your week going strong. We're going to continue to get you pumped up and prepped for the major on our hands. More live from Olympia Fields. It's KPMG Women's PGA Championship Week here on Morning Drive. Back after this.